take. You take. Are those little painted?
Yes.
Some trees.
Hello. Hi, Isaiah. Is Hayden with you today?
No, I don't think so. I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I don't mean to actually be all nosy about it, but I want to know what we're gonna be making today.
We are going to be painting today. It's going to be so cool. I'm getting ready to put it. I'm going to put it in the chat. The supplies that you guys need to get out. Okay. You're going to need your acrylic paints today.
Did you lose her?
Your craft
Well, it
paint.
looks like she just froze.
You're going to need.
Hello,
blue,
Eugene Casey.
yellow,
What do you mean? Eugene Casey's not here.
I was talking about Hayden.
Mm.
Most people call Hayden Eugene Casey.
paint brushes, water cup,
Oh,
pencil,
Why this
and
computer
paper.
does not want to work.
it
right,
worked
you
in the
guys.
polls.
Can you see in the chat box? We're gonna be needing some acrylic paints today if you have them. All these little craft paints, okay, guys? You're gonna need these. They were on the supply list. If you don't have these, it's okay.
You don't have paints, third home.
So today we're going to be painting. So you're going to need pencil and paper. You're going to need your paints, whatever types of paints you bought. If you have them in the bottles, that's great. If you have them in a paint tray, that's totally fine too. So you're going to need definitely some blue and green and white and yellow, black and brown if you have them, okay? Paint brushes and a cup of water to rinse your paint brushes out in, okay?
So we're just starting right now.
Paint brushes, whatever sizes, maybe a couple little small size.
Time.
And we'll get started here in just a few minutes, okay, everyone?
No, it's on on the speaker. And it's on off camera.
Okay, let me check. Oh.
Hi, everybody. How are we doing? Is everybody doing good today? Are you excited about art today? Good. So we are going to be using our paints today, whatever type of paints you have. You're definitely going to need some blues and greens, yellows, white, black if you have it, brown if you have it, paint brushes, some paint brushes, and a water cup to rinse your brushes out in, and maybe a paper towel. You could get a paper towel, and pencil and paper. So I put the little list of what you're going to need today in the chat box. So if you missed part of that, you can open your chat box and look there. Hi, everybody. How are we doing?
Good.
Good.
Hi. I think because we just logged on, maybe we didn't see the list. I caught that last bit of it.
Okay, no
It was-
problem.
Yeah.
We are actually going to be painting today, so get out whatever paints you have. So if you have the little
Okay.
bottles of craft paint, this is, these types of things. If you have watercolor tray paint, that's fine too. If you have, the little big paint in the bottles, whatever kind of paints you have, get your paints out. You're definitely going to need blues, greens, whites, yellows, blacks if you have them, brown if you have them, those types of things.
What are we gonna draw?
I'll show you in just a second. We're also going to need pencil and paper. You're gonna need your paint brushes, and probably a cup of water to rinse your brushes out in, and maybe a paper towel if you want it. Something to mix your paints in. Let me type that in there.
You want these watercolors?
I want everything.
You can use whatever
And
you
you
want.
can use a paper plate to mix your paints in, or if you have a little paint tray, something like this, that's totally fine too. But a paper plate will do just as well. We'll get started here in about 3 minutes while you guys go gather all your supplies.
What do we need again?
You're gonna need some paint, whatever type of paint you have. Today we're gonna paint. So I have these little craft bottles of paint. I don't know if you guys have these, or if you have a tray of watercolor paints, or if you have some little kid paints just in a bottle. Whatever type of paints you have, you need some blues and greens, maybe whites, yellows, blacks if you have it,
Hey,
browns.
I need some brown.
You're also going to need your paintbrush, okay, if you've got paintbrushes. And probably a little cup of water to rinse your brushes out in. And something to put your paint on, mix your paint in. I have these little paint trays, but if you just have a paper plate, that's great. And you also need a piece of paper and a pencil. Piece of paper and a pencil. Pencil.
Did you say that we needed paper plates?
If you have a paper plate to mix your paint on, that's fine. Or if you have a little paint tray, I have some of these little paint trays from the Dollar Tree. I don't know if you have a paint tray, but a paper plate is totally fine to do your paint mixing
Will
on.
this work?
Sure, absolutely.
Alrighty.
I have the exact same kind as you.
Yay! Oh, good. Yeah, hold them up. Yeah, you see they got little holes in them so you can.
Oh.
Yeah. You can get them at the dollar store. I love these kind of things, or you can get them at Walmart. Hi, everybody. I'm seeing more. Everybody's signing in here. I see a lot of faces. Hi, guys.
Hey.
You guys having a good day?
Yeah.
Who got a snow day yesterday?
I got a little bit of snow, but not all. Not a
And
lot.
look what I got.
Oh, she can't see.
I
Let me
went
see.
sledding like 1,000 times.
You have to see.
1,000 times. My kids sledded snow so much there was no snow left on the hill. They sledded it all off.
I ate all of it.
Oh God, yes, they ate some snow too yesterday.
Every week, but she did it again.
We are so excited. Are you guys excited?
Yes.
You
Yeah?
excited?
Yeah.
You guys ready to paint?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
I painted a truck before.
All right, so everybody, it is 3 o'clock. I'm gonna get you guys to go down in your left-hand corner and click your mute button. Everybody needs to go down in the left-hand corner and click your mute button. The little thing that looks like a microphone, you want to make sure it has a line across it. And I'm going to go over one more time for everybody who's just kind of jumping on here, what we're going to be needing today. So
Oh, that's
we're
me.
going to need some
do we need?
paints. You're going to need your paints. If you have these little
Oh,
bottles,
I'm just that. I'm nothing.
a couple of these. We need greens and blues, yellows, whites, blacks if you have it, brown if you have it. That's great. So get.
I
your
don't
colors
have
of paint.
white. I don't have black, white, or brown.
That's okay. That's okay. You're gonna make do with what we got. No problem.
Brown, so
And you're gonna need your paint brushes,
dark brown and lighter brown.
whatever type of paint brushes you
Different
have.
colored blues and 2 different colored greens.
You're gonna need a cup of water to rinse your brushes out on.
I'm gonna get you both some black and
Maybe a
some
paper
Tiny.
towel. If you have paint trays, this is wonderful. You can use these to mix your paint. But if you don't, that's okay. You can just use a paper plate, a little plastic plate, whatever. And you're also going to need a piece of paper and a pencil to get started with today. And everybody who's just joining in, I need you to reach down in your left-hand corner of your screen and make yourself, mute yourself. I'm sorry. Look down in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen and it says mute. It's a little microphone there and you need to make sure there's a line going through it. Because I'm going to talk just a few minutes and everybody needs to listen to what I have to say about this project, okay? So if you're talking and everybody else can hear you, they cannot hear me. So make sure we go down in the left-hand corner and hit mute. We good? So who's excited to paint? Just do this.
Oh no, painting.
If we're painting, woo!
Oh,
All right. Make sure we're going down in the bottom left-hand corner, everyone. And you put mute. Put yourself on mute. We want to click that little microphone so it has a red line across it. All right.
I haven't done art class since kindergarten.
Well, we're going to do it today. It's going to be awesome. All right. You ready?
Yay!
Okay. All right, Isaiah, make sure you go down and mute. Good job. Awesome sauce. All right, my friends. So I'm going to share my screen and I want you guys to look at this picture here. Yes. Can everyone see this picture now? Yes, this is a picture. It's an art picture of the Starry Night. And
I know this picture.
good. It is
I've
painted.
seen it before.
Good. I hope you have. It's a very famous picture. This was painted by an artist a long time ago named Vincent van Gogh. And it is such a cool picture because, as you can see, it's a nighttime scene, but it doesn't really look like the nighttime scenes when we look out of our windows, does it? Sure, we can see the moon and we can see some stars and maybe some clouds, but the sky almost looks like it's moving, doesn't it? And Vincent van Gogh painted this picture just like this so that we would look at it and we can see the movement in the paint. So around here, you see some whirls and swirls, and you can actually see each individual little mark of his paintbrush. If we zoom in really, really close, I don't know how well you can see on this computer image, but you can actually see each little boop, boop, boop every time he touched his paintbrush to the paper. He didn't smooth it out. He didn't blend it. He just put all of this paint on the paper, and so we can see every mark. And it
Like
looks
this.
moving, okay? And look, it's like a little the moon right here has a halo around it, some light shining off. These stars over here are giving off a glow. Even down here in the tree, the shadow, you can see all of the little marks he made with the blacks and browns down here in the tree. It is a tree, yes, it's a cypress tree. And you can see in the mountains back here, even there's lines in the mountains. So the Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh, that's what we are going to model our painting off of today. Let me get back to see you guys. All right, can you see me again?
Painting.
Okay. So our final project today is going to end up with this. We are going to paint a landscape, kind of like the Starry Night. It's going to be a nighttime landscape. So the technical art smart vocabulary word for that is nocturne. So we're going to paint a nighttime landscape. So get your paper out, and you can go side to side or up and down on your paper. Either way is totally fine, side to side or up and down. And you're very lightly with your pencil, you're going to sketch a landscape. On a landscape, we want to make sure that we have a tree. We want one tree because we're kind of doing it kind of like Vincent van Gogh. So in our landscape, our sketch, we want to put a little tree maybe off to the side, or you can put it right in the middle. And then behind the tree, we want to put some rolling hills or maybe some mountains. Okay, so that's going to be called your horizon. That's where the sky meets the land. So we're just going to very lightly sketch with our pencil some rolling hills in the background. There's our tree. I put a little bush in mine. Sometimes, you know, we got some bushes that live next to these little trees. And up in the sky, we want to put a moon. I put a crescent moon. But you can do a full moon. The moon was full last night. Did everybody get out and see the bright, beautiful moon? It was shining so big. Sometimes it's easier to draw a full moon because it's just a circle. So you can do just a circle. And but if you want a crescent moon like mine, that's totally fine. Don't draw any stars right now. We're going to go in and put those in with the paint. So we just want the outlines. Now I drew mine with a Sharpie just so you could see it easier on the computer, but you're going to just sketch this very lightly with your pencil. Now, if you notice where I drew my tree and my bush, there's something funky going on down here. Why did I draw another tree and another bush? Does anybody know what that's going to be in my painting?
I think it's a shadow.
You are exactly right. It's going to be a shadow where the moonlight is shining down and it's going to cast a shadow. So down here, very lightly, you're going to connect it to your tree, and you're just very, very lightly going to sketch the same outline. It doesn't have to be as detailed as your tree because shadows are just kind of shapes here. And then if you did a bush or if you did a house over here, everything that you drew on your landscape is going to need to have a little bit of a shadow. Okay? I'm going to give you guys just a few minutes. And again, if you wanted to do your landscape going side to side, totally fine. Or if you do it up and down like mine, totally fine. I want this to be your artwork. My idea is just that. It's just an idea for inspiration. Okay? So when you get yours sketched, if you'll hold it up to your camera and let me look at it, I want to see what you guys are doing so far. I'll be scrolling through here and looking. You got to hold them right up to the camera so I can see them. Okay, guys? Yeah, and hold them still.
So
I see.
we can do anything. It just has to look like a mountain, and it has to have a moon and a tree.
Yes. And I wouldn't do too much more details on that because we're going to be painting it as a nighttime scene. And if you put too many details, you're going to lose it because we're going to paint it all in shadows. Let me see. If you guys will hold them up there, let me look, because I scroll through and it takes me a few minutes to do that.
This will work for my paper and paint, correct?
Hold it on up there, Gabe.
It is like thick paper. Essentially.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's definitely fine.
All
All
right.
right. Jason, I see y'all. Zoe, good. I see Sarah's iPad, Amber's fire. Yep, I see you guys. Okay, I'm keeping going. As you guys are finishing your landscape sketches, I like seeing the shadows. You guys are doing a good job with the shadows. Very nice. Adeline, I see yours. Good. These are looking nice. Are you guys excited to paint? Yeah? Are we excited to paint?
No, not at all.
That's okay. Look, we did one project so far with markers. And we did one project last week with colored pencils. And this week we're doing some painting. So we're trying to try a little bit of everything. So that makes it a little more interesting for everybody. All right, my friends. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to get some blue paint, whatever kind of blue paint you have. I have this nice blue in a bottle here, and we're going to pour it in our paint trays or out onto our paper plate.
Just make the shadow, sweetie. Look right there.
Can I have a second?
Now your bright blue, your blue color, we're going to paint our nighttime sky with the blue. So if you'll notice, this is my kind of halfway done project, midway. I did a little bit of nighttime of the regular blue and paint the whole nighttime sky. Do not paint your moon. Do not paint your tree yet, but you're going to paint the whole nighttime sky. And if you look really closely at my paint, can you see the brush strokes? I painted a little, it's kind of a little sloppy a little bit, like, because I just like paint, 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 paint. But we don't want to blend it too much, do we? We want it to look like Vincent van Gogh's painting with all of the paint brush strokes in there. So we're going to paint, 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 and just put the paint on the paper. So paint your sky, all of your sky blue. You're going to go around your moon and around the tree. And you're going to bring it right down to where your hills, the line for your hills you drew. So let's paint your blue sky.
I have a question.
Yes.
You painted your moon. Are we supposed to do that?
Not yet. We're just doing the blue first, okay? So I want you to paint all of your sky first and paint around your moon, paint around the tree. But I want your paintbrush strokes to be really rough, really, really thick. We're not trying to blend this right now. We don't want it to look smooth. We want it to look like Vincent van Gogh's Starry Night. That looks good, Gabe. Keep going. Now you can start painting, okay?
Did you say mine looks good?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So start painting with the blue. We're going to paint all of our sky now. And
okay.
One thing that you can do is put a lot of paint on your paintbrush. Yep, that's fine. Lots of paint, like gobs of paint on your paintbrush, and then push it around on your paper. It does not need to be blended in. We're not trying to make it look like a sky we would look outside and see. We want it to look like scratchy and rough, like Vincent van Gogh's lines in his nighttime sky. So this painting needs to have a lot of texture, a lot of squiggles in it, a lot of work with your paintbrush, okay? So we're gonna do the blues. So everybody be painting your sky. Now from here on out, you probably don't want to pick your painting up to show me anymore, because if you have wet paint on your paper and you pick it up, your paint's gonna go just like that and run down your paper. So from here on out, leave it laying flat, okay?
No, make it whatever color you want. Doesn't have to be perfect.
That's right. We can just paint, paint, paint that nighttime sky. So we're gonna do all the blues around the sky. Paint around your moon and paint around your tree. But we're going to do all of the sky.
Wait, everywhere?
All around the
All
tree.
of the sky.
But don't paint the tree or the moon. Right? Right. Mama's got to get fire. Okay. Do you know how you can open the rest of the colors?
All of the sky, everybody.
I need to ask you.
We want to make sure, everyone, that while you're working, if you can, please go down in the left-hand corner and make sure your microphone is muted, okay? Make sure you are on mute while you're working. Unless, of course, you have a question, then you can unmute and ask me. Or you can put it in the chat box and I will see it too. So we're going to paint all of the sky from the top of your paper all the way down to the lines where you drew your mountains, okay? And side to side, we want to go all the way to the edge and top all the way down to the mountains. We don't want to leave any of the white paper showing, but you're going to paint with those really thick paintbrush strokes. We want to actually be able to see the direction that you moved your paintbrush. And you don't have to be too really careful with this, okay? This is one of those projects where if you mess up a little bit or if you go out of the line, that's okay, we can go back. This is what it's supposed to look like, are those wild brush strokes in there. Yeah, that looks really good. I like how you went around your tree. That looks good. Remember, we're not picking our papers up this time because I don't want your paint to run down. So keep leaving your papers flat. So the next thing we're going to do, if you have black, okay? If you have black, I want you to mix a little teeny dot in with your blue. Okay? One little teeny dot of black. We're going to mix it in with our blue because we want a little bit of a darker blue now. So this is one of the fun things about painting is mixing it to get the colors that we want to use. It doesn't have to be just what comes out the bottle. You can mix it in a different area or you can add one little drop of black to the blue that you're using, okay? And don't add too much. If you add too much, it's going to be black. Just like that. It's going to be all black. So we're going to add one teeny tiny little drop of black to our blue to make it a darker blue. And once you get that dark blue mixed, I'm going to tell you something really cool to do. It's going to look really neat, okay?
Surprisingly,
so I'm going to let everybody kind of get caught up.
Surprisingly, my blue is actually perfect.
Good. Oh, good. Well, this is going to still kind of look really cool. So we're going to put some more paint. With this type of painting, you cannot add too much paint. We can keep adding paint all day long. It's still going to look cool, okay? So add a teeny tiny drop of black to that blue and mix it up so you get a dark blue. Then I want you to put your brush in the water.
Oh, put your brush in the water.
Put your brush in the water. Lots of water, okay? So make sure you're putting your brush in the water, and we want lots and lots of water on our brush. Then you're going to get a little bit of that dark blue, and with the water on your brush, we want it a little bit watery, and you're going to paint over the blue again. So it's going to start looking, the regular blue is going to be shining through, but your dark blue, see right here where I have a little bit of transition in the colors, it's going to look really cool once you start painting over that blue again. Okay, so we want to take that dark blue with lots of water in our brush and paint a layer over top of the blue. So we're laying layers of paint on our paper. Lots of paint. We just love adding all of that different kind of paint. And again, with this, you want to see those brush strokes. So keep doing the brush strokes. So get some more water, get a little bit more of the dark blue and paint. A little more water, a little more of the dark blue and paint. Yes, and yes, go over the whole thing again, okay? All of that blue.
If all you have is dark blue, will that work?
Yeah, oh yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine. We're just making it look like a nighttime sky.
Okay.
So we want it to kind of look darky blue. If you have dark blue, that's great.
If you need other colors, I'm just gonna.
You can go right off the edge, okay? Side to side and the top and go down to where you were going to meet your mountains, okay? That's called your horizon line. So the sky has to come all the way down and meet the mountains there.
I don't know if
Woo.
on or up down.
Had you ever thought about mixing different paints and laying them on top of each other on your paper? Something cool. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's cool. Oh, I see it, Eva. That looks really good how you went around your trees and stuff. Looks great. Be careful picking your papers up though. I don't want the paint to start like gobbing and like dripping down. All right. These are so cool. These look really good. Some of you are moving your camera to look down onto your painting. That's how I can see them, and that's okay. If you can't move your camera though, that's okay. Make sure you're going over all of the blue with that darker blue. It's gonna look really cool, like a nighttime, like shadows at night. That's really neat. And you cannot put too much paint on this paper. This is the kind of painting that we just want it to look really thick and really a lot of brush strokes in it. It's gonna look like texture. It's gonna look really cool. These are looking cool. These are looking really cool. I'm so excited. I'm more excited, I think, than y'all are.
So you want us to paint like everything except for the trees and the mountains with a lighter blue, correct? And then
Yes, we're going to paint the whole sky with the lighter blue, and then you're going to go over the sky with the darker blue and lots of water. Water in your brush with the darker blue.
Well, this is what I have.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So in some places the lighter blue is still going to show through, and that's okay. We want to see, you know, a lot of the texture and a lot of the brush strokes. These are looking great, guys. Yeah, I see it, Gray. I see it. All right. So guess what we're going to do next?
could I have another second?
Sure.
Thank you. I'm just gonna fill in everything else so it's not white.
While everybody's catching up, we're actually going to be doing the tree trunk next and the shadow. So if you have brown, that's great. Go ahead and get it out.
Were we
If
supposed
you-
to make a tree trunk?
Yeah, when you drew your tree, or did you just do bushes? That's okay. If you did just did bushes, that's no problem.
I
So
just
if you
did
have a tree
a
trunk,
tree.
if you have brown paint, we're gonna go ahead and paint the tree trunk brown.
1 second.
Sure. And then you're also going to go in and paint the shadow brown. We're going to paint the tree trunk brown and the shadow brown.
Is
If
there
you
any
have
way
brown, if you don't have brown, you can make brown.
Does it have to be like? Does it have to be like a special dark brown, or can it just
Nope.
be any brown?
It can be just yucky brown. That's fine.
Okay, I'm
if you
feeling
don't
sick.
have brown,
We had to get brown.
Harrison, you can't what? You can't do brown. You don't have brown. If you don't have brown, you can mix. You can mix blue and orange if you have that. Red and green if you have red. Or yellow and purple if you have that. Or any of those kind of combinations you can mix to make a brownish color. And you can add a little bit of black if you have that.
Do you have paint?
Mute your thing.
That's the beauty of paint. You can just like throw it all together and see what comes out. Yeah, no, not, yes. Yeah, and the bush, if you did anything that has a shadow, if you did the tree with a shadow, paint it brown. If you have a bush shadow, paint the shadow brown. If your brown is light, that's okay too. That's okay too. Just paint it brown for right now, because Miss Jen is going to get you to add a little bit of black to that in just a few minutes, and we're going to color it in, cover it up with two. Okay, we got to lay a layer of paint down. And we're
Are we gonna do the trunk right now?
Yes, go ahead and do that.
I'm still coloring all the blue in. It
That's
takes a
okay.
while
Just
to-
keep the listen out, and you can catch up. Okay.
Okay.
And
So
again,
how do you make brown again?
This whole lesson is being recorded. So if you want, you can email Second Stage amherst@gmail.com, and they will send you a copy of the recording after today. Okay. So if you don't totally get done, you can go back and watch it again.
Okay. Alrighty.
So now we're painting the tree trunk and the shadows
So
with
how
a
do I?
brown.
So we
On the
do both shadows.
Yes,
bush
all the
too?
shadows, whatever
black
you drew on your
tree
paper. If you
shadows.
drew a bush, if you drew a building, paint all the shadows brown.
Okay.
This is my shadow.
I do not
Maybe
have to
black
paint the.
The shadow to paint the shadow. Ooh.
I do
paint
not
the
have
shadow.
to paint the
We're gonna paint
mountain.
all those shadows brown. If you do not have brown, you can mix the brown. You can use, yes, you color the whole shadow, do the whole thing. And again, using those brush strokes, okay? We're not trying to be blending. We're not trying to make it look perfect. This is one of those paintings we don't want it to look perfect. We want it to look kind of choppy and sketchy and textury and all that kind of stuff. We want to see the paintbrush strokes. So in your shadows, you don't even have to have them perfectly lined up. This is a nighttime scene. We don't really get to see a whole lot of details at night. So
To
it's
give it
okay.
like texture, could you like swirl it?
Yes, you can. That's a great idea. Great idea. Got your shadows? This is my daughter Jenna's painting with us today. There she is.
Hi, Jenna.
Easy. You're gonna rip the paper. Don't do that anymore.
So we make brown with red and
Hand me the lid.
If you want to make brown, you can mix red and green. If you have those, you can mix blue and orange. That makes a nice brown.
Let me do it for you.
red, green, and
We love mixing these colors because you kind of get all kinds of different things, and it's like a little surprise every time.
Brown.
You want the water so it makes the stroke.
The next thing we're going to move on, we're going to paint green. All the top of the tree, all of your rolling hills, your mountains, the grass, everything green. Now, this is where it's going to kind of get a little bit interesting. We are going to paint green over top of the shadows. Paint right over top of them. Okay, and if your colors mix a little bit, that's great. We want it to look like a shadow at night. So you're going to take your green, and again, see my brush strokes? Some of them are kind of like spotty there, and then some of them are pretty thick. You want to paint the bushes, the top of the tree.
Are we doing that now?
Yes, if you're ready to move along, we can do the green now. So paint all of your hills, the bushes, paint right over top of your shadow.
Okay.
Paint right over top of the shadow, but
Do you
kinda
do
go
it with a
around the
lot of water?
No, you don't need to use a lot of water this time, but the
Okay.
greens will be just fine.
Do you use several different color greens?
You can, that's a great idea. You want to
That's
mix
not
them up a little bit and get something totally new. That is so great. Yes, you may color the shadow gray if that's all you have. No problem. These are all everybody's individual artworks. They do not have to look just like mine. Okay, mine is just an idea. Just like we're looking at the Starry Night painting, we don't want it to look exactly like that. We want it to look like ours, right?
You might.
Woo, I'm seeing some cool green stuff coming out. And you can play with it a little bit and mix two greens like somebody had said. If you want to do that, that's totally fine. But paint all the grass and the tree and the bush or whatever else you drew in your landscape. We want to do all the greens. And remember, don't leave a white stripe at the top of your mountains. The green needs to come all the way up and meet the blue at that horizon line, okay? The green comes all the way up and meets the blue at the horizon line. And your greens go all the way off the edge of your paper and all the way to the bottom.
Here,
Let's fill that paper up.
what I'm gonna do with it.
I'm scrolling through looking at everybody. You guys are working so hard. And remember, we're making those big brush strokes, you know, like big funky. You need to go like this a little bit. Today's the day where we can be kind of a little bit messy. That's okay. That's okay. If you're going to be an artist, you cannot be afraid of a mess. Right? Sometimes the best things happen when we make a little accident, we go in and fix it. Or do something different. That's how we learn. I love seeing you guys working. Some of you are even like thinking so hard you got your tongue out. You're thinking so hard on what we're doing.
How would you fix the moon?
We're going to do the moon next. So we'll just wait on the moon.
If you colored on the moon, how would you fix it?
If you painted blue around the moon, you painted the moon. Let me see your painting. Hold your painting up. Let's see. If you painted on your moon, don't worry too much because once that blue dries just a little bit, we can go back in and paint the yellow over top of it, okay? Yes, when you're painting the green, you paint over your shadows. Yes, we're painting right over our shadows. Yep, you're gonna paint your bush. I like how you got yours going up and down like that. That's different. Looking good, guys. These look really good. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I know not everybody's done with the green. We're going to do the same thing with the green that we did with the blue. So take your green and you're going to add one huge puddle of black, or are we going to add one teeny tiny little drop of black? What did we learn from blue?
Oh, we use a tiny.
Right, Jada. Yes, one teeny tiny little drop of black. You're going to mix into your green to make a kind of like a darkish green. And then we're going to use a lot of water, right? Lots of water. Dip that brush in the water, water, and then get that dark green and kind of go over all the green stuff that you've already painted because it's going to give it like a nighttime look, okay?
Is it okay if we did green, black, and yellow?
Yes.
Sure. Yeah, this is your painting, remember? Whatever color you have mixed up is going to be just fine. Let's see, do we have a dark green? Is that, if you have a dark green, that's fine. I still think you should mix a little bit of black into it because it gives it some kind of a little different look. Plus, you get to mix paint. I love to mix paint. You get something brand new every time. And when you get to that point, you're going to want to make sure your paintbrush is full of water and then get some of the dark green and paint over top of the green hills, okay?
I have already
You're gonna mix a little bit
done
of
the
black
green.
with
What are we going to do after the green?
After the green,
Yes.
we're going to do the
Put the
moon.
scabs more.
So we're just going to wait and let everybody get our greens.
Take your scab.
Get dark green.
It's a sky.
Get lots of water in your brush, and then you're going to go over
You want
all
you
of
to
the
throw lots of
green.
paint on it. You get
and the
lots of
tree.
paint there. Take your scab and mix some.
Hey guys,
And
you're
darker.
going to go over the green part of your tree too with that dark green and lots of
Make some
water
prints like that.
because it's going to look like a little like nighttime.
Lots of
We don't want it to look like a daytime painting. We want it to look like it's nighttime.
Yeah, here, put a big one. Oh yeah.
Drag it through it. Don't push it in. Drag it through.
Here, just put some new green. Just put it in there.
Yeah, and we add just a little teeny drop of black to mix into that green to
Actually,
make
just
it
put it right
look, it's gonna look different. And then with lots of water over top of what you've already painted, it's gonna look like a layer. And it really makes it look, it makes it pop or something. It looks really,
When you add that black to that,
it looks like nighttime.
or add a dot to that.
That's good.
And you're gonna paint your tree, the green part of your tree, that dark, the black green too. Don't forget to do your top of your tree. If you put a tree in there, you may not put a tree in there, and that's okay. That's okay. It's gonna be nighttime. It's a nighttime scene, and that's totally fine. Ooh, I'm so excited. Are you guys having fun?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Is this good?
Looking, yeah. What do you think about that sky?
Victoria, and
What do you think about it?
It's pretty good.
Did you
I
have fun
added rock.
making it though? Like, isn't it fun just to like put that paint on the paper and just be like, I don't have to stay in these lines. I can do what I want. So, one little tip, your water is probably looking like this about now, doesn't it?
Yes.
Does it look like swamp water?
correctly.
Yeah, it's nasty. Let's go dump that water out and get some clean water. Okay, take just a minute and go dump this dirty water out and get some clean, fresh water in there, okay?
Yeah, use the water over there. The water over there. Help your brother.
Because
I'll
we're
go-
getting ready to switch to
Yeah.
a lighter color, the yellows, and you don't want swamp water mixed in with your yellow paint. That'd be kind of yucky. Good job, Jason, good job. I saw you carrying that water. Hi, everybody. Hi, baby. Make sure we get some nice, fresh, clean water, and that will make your yellows and the whites, if you have them, whites and yellows, oranges, whatever we're using next, are lighter values.
What are we
That's
doing
gonna make
now?
them look better. We're waiting for everybody to catch up. Then you're gonna need yellow or white. Yellow if you have it, and white.
Also, just put a dot of white in the yellow.
I would just use yellow straight out if you have yellow, and then we're gonna do some white highlights in just a minute. So you can go ahead and pour that out onto your paint palette or on your paper plate, whatever you got going on there. Yellow and white would be separate if you have both. That's great. If not, just use yellow. If you don't have yellow, we have orange. We're gonna use orange, and that's okay.
It's fine if anyone's hands are wet because we want it to look like a night sky.
Right. I'm scrolling through, just checking everybody, seeing what you're working on. Yeah. You can do your moon white. We don't have yet. Well, do it. That's fine. This is your art piece. Henry, yours looks nice. You guys, I'm telling you, you are some amazing artists. Adeline, I see yours. Eva, make sure you go in and fill the hill in back there, okay? With the green. It looks really good. I like how you have a little, like a halo around those. That looks really cool. Everybody has such a different style. I love this.
This is what I have.
Yep. I love the whirls and swirls.
Thank
of
you.
this paint.
Okay, hold on. You can ask.
Can I do my move?
Yes, we're gonna do the moons next. I'm letting everybody kind of catch up and get to the point that we need to be.
Is the moon going to be white or or white
So it's sweet.
or yellow and black.
Let's just.
All right, hey friends, if you put a building in your landscape, a barn or a house, I am going to let you go in with those and paint a brown, okay? No really details. Let's go back to the Starry Night and let's look at the buildings down here. So yeah, we can see some little lights in the windows. We can see the roofs, but our buildings will be that detailed. Our buildings will be a little bit brown, that they're going to be shadows, okay? So if you put a building in your landscape, you're going to want to just paint it like a darkish brown, and you can go in and put a little bit, maybe even a little bit of blue in it to look like a nighttime shadow on the building. Browns and blacks and blues. The next step we're going to be painting, guys, is our moons. So our moons are
Let me mix the
yellow
color
if
for
you
you.
have yellow.
Use it.
That's right. If you did a crescent moon, you're going to paint it. If you did a big full moon, if you don't have yellow, you can paint it white.
We're having a hard time understanding with the other sounds.
Okay, everybody needs to make sure you go down in the bottom left-hand corner and hit mute, guys. Sorry about that.
No
Make sure
problem.
everybody's on mute down in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Just make sure you hit that little microphone. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
So what if I painted over my moon?
If you painted over it, a couple of people did. You're going to paint white if you have it, and then you can put yellow on top. It will show above the blue.
I don't have yellow.
That's
I don't
okay.
have white.
Do you have white? Or you can use orange. Any light value is totally fine.
I don't have white.
That's okay if you don't have white. Any light value, whites, yellows, orange. Even if you have like a pink color, I don't know what kind of paints you have.
Does this look good?
Value. Paint it right up in the sky. Very good.
So
Wait.
Did you want me to mix the paints or to put white on it and then yellow above it?
Wait, are we supposed to put white over the sky?
Yeah, not over the sky, just over your moon. Over your moon, that's okay. If you painted over your moon, you can paint with the blue. By mistake, you can just put the white in there. The very last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add some texture and stars in our nighttime sky. So you're going to get your paintbrush, rinse it out really good, and if you have a paper towel, you want to dry it off because we don't want a lot of water for this part, okay? We don't want a lot of water for this part. If you have a paper towel, you can dab it off. If not, just kind of swipe on the side of your water cup. Now with the yellows, you can dot some stars with the dry paintbrush and the yellow paint. Dot some stars through here. You can even take your paintbrush and twist it a little bit, put it on your paper and then twist it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you're going to, if you want, you can put a little light marks coming around the moon. See how Miss Jen put her little white and yellow glowing marks around the moon, and then little dots for the stars. Just kind of push them on there and twist a little bit. You don't need too many.
I am currently still doing my moon.
That's okay. Keep working. I do. I very much do. And then you can go in and add a little bit white, little dots of white. Yeah, just around them, like the little glowing marks. Get a dry brush. Okay. Not too much paint. This part does not require too much, but that's okay if you get too much on there because you can always kind of swish it around, and it's not going to be anything goes for this. This is your project, okay? Oh yeah, I see it. I see it.
What do we do after we do the stars?
You let it dry. That looks good.
Then are we done?
Ta-da!
Looking good or
I'm
looking bad?
done.
You guys, did you have fun doing it? That's the best question.
I'm done, so
Yep.
can I leave now?
Okay, Harrison, bye.
We finished.
Oh, wow. And look, both of you had the same directions,
I'm done.
and you had two totally different pictures. Oh, Ava, that looks lovely. Look at the
Can I
little like
show you?
halo. Sure, show me. Hold them up here.
I
Henry, it's a good.
here's mine.
Yes. Look at the little waves. That looks really neat. What was that a little bit about? That is getting artistic there. Avette, I see yours with the shadows. You guys did some
to say hi.
excellent mixing on you guys. Excellent mixing for you guys.
Are we gonna do anything for the mountain that we put down?
You should paint that the green. That should have been included in the green.
I think it's gonna
And you
cut
can
off.
go back. Oh, my stars. Look at that. So many stars. That looks very much like Vincent van Gogh. Very cool. Hi, Brady.
You add some green here.
Can we make it look like it's another planet and make another moon?
This is your art piece. So if you want to do that, you go right ahead.
Bye.
I know it's about time for you guys for our class to be over. I hope everybody had a wonderful time today. Do you love your paintings?
Next week.
Bye.
You love your paintings?
Yay!
Thank you, Henry. It's
I'm
wonderful.
almost-
Wow, Zoe and Noah, I see y'all, Brady. Brady, yours really looks like it's at dark. It really
Bye.
looks like nighttime.
What do you mean?
Yeah, that looks good. It's so good.
Like, isn't she looking?
But she's trying to tell us wrong with you guys. But you're
Bye.
you're muted, so you can say bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
I'm almost done.
You have to
Good.
exit full screen.
What are we doing next week?
It's a
This is
surprise.
What?
It's a surprise.
Okay.
Oh, Gabe, that looks good. Yeah, it looks like nighttime, doesn't it? I'm telling you, the secret is add matte black.
I'm gonna leave.
A little drop of black
Bye.
makes it look like it's nighttime.
gonna do something.
My name is Nate. This is my brother's phone.
Oh, I forget. I get you guys mixed up. I got 49 kids on here. But don't ever be afraid to correct me on that, okay? Absolutely. If I call you by the wrong name, you say, hey, that's not right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, Tess.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye, Brady.
Bye.
Nate. Bye, Jada.
Bye.
I'm gonna go.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Mm-hmm.
Can't see what I'm doing. I'm sorry.
There's leave.
Yes. Sorry.
Bye, friends.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.